Good day, fellas! We're glad you're here again to watch and learn more from our videos. So today, we will learn the 6 essential nuts that would help you in many ways. So first, let me ask you, what do you think is a nut? So nut, in cording, is the interlacement of parts of one or more ropes, cords, or other pliable materials commonly used to bind objects together. So what are we waiting for? Come and learn the 6 different essential nuts with us. So, to tie a square knot, first hold the end of the rope in each hand. Pass the right end over and under the rope in your left hand. Pass the rope end now in your left hand over and under the one now in your right. Tighten the knot by pulling both running ends at the same time. The result must be a symmetrical knot with two ends running parallel to each other. According to the International Knot Tyers Guild, the disadvantage of this knot is it should never be used to bend two ropes together. This knot is often listed as amongst the deadliest knots for how often it is misused. It slips and comes undone, hence should not be used as a bend. Square knot has many uses. For survival situations, it serves as a first aid for minor injuries such as stopping the wound. For camping, it is useful for shelters, keeping food safe, and tying down light loads. For around the house, you can use it to tie together firewood bundles as a decorative flourish and for a quick repair.
So first we have is square knot. So square knot or reef knot, double knot, brotherhood knot, or sometimes referred to as Hercules knot. So this knot is useful for securing bandages and packages to joining two ropes together. So it is useful for first aid where it can be used to tie a bandage around the wound to stop the bleeding quickly. So it works best when pressed against something else and the ropes are on the same diameter. So we must also remember it is not to be used to hold a heavy load. It is also not to be used for any applications which require a secure knotting because they are also not a climbing or mountaineering knot.
And now, for clove hitch knot, what I have here are improvised rope and a stick. So to tie a clove hitch knot, first, pass the end of the rope around the pole. Continue over the sanding and around the pole a second time. Thread under itself and pull tight to form the clove hitch. And there you go, a clove hitch knot. This hitch is prone to slipping, by which when the direction of the load shifts, for example a boat attached to a piling might, and when the rope alternated between loaded and unloaded, it may become very difficult to untie after being subjected to heavy strain. So, take note that it can offer a more secure hold around a rounded cylindrical object. It is less effective when tied around the square edge post. Clove hitch knot also has its many uses. For survival situations, it helps to secure lines to erect a tarp shelter, lash scaffolding, hang items, secure arm slings, or accomplish any number of other tasks. For fishing, it can temporarily secure your boat to a dock or tree or even strung up fish with it. For hunting, it is useful for stringing up items or in square lashing or pull gear up into your tree stand. For camping, clove hitches are campers' best friends when it comes to adjusting guy lines under tension, setting up a campsite hammock, and hanging a beer bag. For climbing, it serves as a quick to tie and allowing for adjusting the length of anchored rope. For around the house, it is widely used in theater works to hang curtains or draperies, to construct rope ladders, or to connect rows to stanchions for cordoning off spaces.
So second is clove hitch knot. So it is sometimes termed the double hitch. So did you know that clove hitch knot is among the widely used knots but also comes with significant limitations and caveats. So it is also known as Go-to knot because it can anchor or temporarily secure a rope to the end of a post using only one hand. So it says in the Ashley Book of Knots that the name was first used in Falconer's Universal Dictionary of the Marine from 1969.
Sheet bend.
Fold one end of the thicker rope back on itself to form a bend or bight that looks like a U-shaped tip on its left side. Slip one end of the thinner rope through the bight from behind. Wrap the end of the thinner rope around the both arms of the bight, crossing over the short arm first. Bring the end of the thinner rope around to the front, pass it between itself and the short arm. Tighten the knot by pulling both ends of the thinner rope. The sheet bend knot is used for tying ropes of different materials together. In this knot, the loop of one rope is tied around the loop of the other. Its name comes from its traditional use of holding a snail in the place. The rope of holding a snail in place was called a sheet, and using the knot was referred to as bending or tying the sheet. Double sheet bend. Make loop in one of the ropes. Bring other rope up. Bring it around the loop. Then tack under. Bring rope again. Tack under again. Pull ends to tighten. Double sheet bend knot is more advanced version of the standard sheet bend. It is important to learn how to tie the double sheet bend since it's more secure version than the single bend arrangement. It is a capable knot that can be used to join two ropes of different sizes. This knot is used for different purposes like for making junctions of nets, for building hammocks, for boating purposes.
Bow line.
Come off from the end of the rope. Make the rabbit hole in the overhand loop. The end of the rope will come out to the hole, and you pull it tight. The bowline is commonly used in sailing small craft. The bowline is also known as a rescue knot for such purposes as rescuing people who might have fallen down a hole or off a cliff into a ledge. One of the most important knots to know for emergency situations when out in the wilderness is the bowline knot. A bowline knot is used as a rescue knot in cases of mountain climbing, fires, or water accidents.
A figure 8 knot. Now, I'm going to show you how to tie a figure 8 knot. To begin, take a single strand of rope and twist it. Then turn around the end and grab it. And finally, place it in the middle or at the hole. Another method is to double the rope. Then bend the bight. And twist it twice before bringing it through the rear and forming a figure 8. If you want to connect it to a fixed loop, you'll need to create a figure 8. Begin by making a single figure 8 using one strand of rope. You'll loop the loose end around an object. Then we'll go and retrace the same steps beginning from the exit. When you're done, make sure that everything is dressed, that everything lays nice and flat. Its purpose. A figure 8 knot is a type of stopper knot, meaning that it is often used to prevent hauling or rock climbing ropes from slipping through a narrow hole, retaining device, or carabiner. You can attach this part directly to a tree, motorcycle, or etc. This knot is popular in mountain climbers. Round turn and 2 half hitches. Now, the round turn and 2 half hitches. First is we're doing the round turn. Loose end, then both underneath over the working end and through the loop that it is formed. This is 1 half hitch. You will do this again one more time to create another half hitch. Purpose. What is it used for? The round turn and 2 half hitches was traditionally used for holding mooring lines. The knot fastens a rope to a fixed object such as a post, tree, ring, or column. It is a strong knot and consists of 2 parts, a round turn and 2 half hitches, and you can secure things using this just like this one. Importance. The round turn and 2 half hitches knot is a very useful knot used to secure the end of a rope to a fixed object. The name refers to the components used to form the knot. A round turn wraps the rope around the object completely, encircling it twice, and 2 half hitches secure the end around the standing part. Taut line hitch. The last knot is taut line hitch. Make a turn around a post or other object several feet from the free end. Coil the free end twice around the standing line, working back towards the post. Make one additional coil around the standing line on the outside of the coils just made. Tighten the knot and slide it on the standing line to adjust tension. Purpose. I use this as a collar for my dog so we could walk around. The taut line hitch is an adjustable loop knot for use on lines under tension. It is used when the length of a line will need to be periodically adjusted in order to maintain tension. It is made by tying a rolling hitch around the standing part after passing around an anchor object. Importance. This knot can be slipped to tighten or loosen a line, then holds fast under load. Useful for lines that may need adjustment. The taut line hitch is essentially a rolling hitch tied on a standing part of a tight line after it has been secured around an object. Campers like to use this knot to secure tent guy lines because the hitch slides freely yet jumps under load, making adjustment to the line easy. And that's the 7 knots you need to know.